Good evening, everybody. System Jock back with episode 79 of the Apostle Obsonate playthrough as Ike Upscribe. There will be a little bit of housekeeping, but I'm going to leave that to the end of the broadcast this time here. It's mostly just some cleaning up that I did of the playlist and a few thank yous. But let's talk about where we are. We're still working on the Eye of Ikirmawi. We have gotten past the door. All doors must open, as all lives must end. This door has found its end here today. Now, we needed to put Valsine into the group because we lost our Callagine on an ill-fated mission to the Suppression Bureau. This means that we still have tentative evidence to deal with. We're going to be generating a lot of notoriety, and we're going to continue generating it. So that's going to be a persistent threat. And so one of the reasons why I'm going to the Stag Door currently is to try and get some either some forge or some knock to be able to summon a new Callagine. What else did we want to do? So I think we were going to read Where Is She Gone? The Spieth, perhaps a single adept, perhaps a council of scholars, hypothesizes secret events from limited evidence with persuasive accuracy. The vagabond is recorded to have traveled not only the Mansis and the Wood, not only all 9 continents, but also places forbidden to other hours. And then I'm trying to remember what I wanted to do with my talk verb. I believe we're doing a commission for Jannings right now, and I'm messing up my layout again. Health, passion, reason. There's another one here which I'm missing. I'm pretty sure I am, anyway. I'm sure it will come to me at the wrong time. All right. But yeah, we'll leave the talk verb open to be able. I probably want to do that to be able to deal with the evidence anyway. But let's get the commissions in first. So I suppose now the question would be, do I feel comfortable enough trying to make a big scary painting? I don't think I have a reliable way of generating some dread right now, so it might be a little much to try and build a lantern painting. Let's try and paint a really big edge painting. Never know, this might be a living, not this one. So we'll take the Mysteries of Force as our inspiration. Those who know will understand, as will the Suppression Bureau. Let's talk with Count Jannings about my Edge commission. Season of Edge today. I have what was requested. And the winter should take us through the curse, so I'm not too worried about that. Alright, I've received the currency of the secret world, and my patron has let tantalizing information slip. So, I think let's get a repair job in. We don't have too many people to be able to do it, but significant conversations in a smoking reading room. What do I need from my follower? We can begin to repair this, but it will take at least a bronze spintrea to purchase the necessary materials. Maybe I did this arrangement. Nah, that still doesn't make sense for the job. Alright, the colors of the night. I could spend money on better paints, or perhaps I could find more exotic pigments. Well, there's only... Oh, sorry, martensite paste. There's only one really acceptable material. The expedition continues. Our expedition plans for the next challenge. It'll consume funds. I can add funds now, or I could send another follower. We've already added everything that we want, so we'll just leave it be. Utter focus. All that I am is here. Oh, and we got the subtle rupture. Geometry contorts, doors burst open, snakes boil from the earth. In sleep, I ran my fingers along the ridged edges of the Stag Door's scars. Our company it was that shattered it, Gearby says suddenly. Before the gods who were flesh, the Mansis was forbidden to mortals. We were the first no. He begins again to weep his molten tears. I wish that we had not. I wish that I had died in the world. I've forgotten what else he said, but I remember the shape of the fissures in the stag door, and for all of today, doors will fear my touch. Okay, so we're going to do that for the summoning. We'll obviously need to wait for the work verb to become available, but that's going to free us up a little bit as far as just people for expeditions and dealing with the evidence is concerned. We'll also need to wait a while for the talk verb to become available, so it's not the end of the world. Now, normally I would like to use some vitality to cure this, and so I suppose maybe I didn't do myself any favors by failing to build the paint the heart painting first, but we got to deal with the world as it currently is, so we'll just pay money for healing. The medicine is dark and bitter as tar. It would be easy to suspect I'm being poisoned. And we'll have some contentment, so if I'm worried about any dread, we'll be able to neutralize that. We'll also have a fleeting reminiscence from getting rid of our season of vision, so generally we're in a better state. As long as we can get rid of the tentative evidence, we should be able to see ourselves through for the next batch of expeditions. Shadows are the shelter from light. Despair is a ballast. Even misery has its uses. Some days are better than others. Sometimes the sky is nothing like a filthy sheet. Sometimes the river runs clear. Mirrors are calm, the sun is steady, the glory recedes. I'm sane if that means anything. No fascination drives your visions. It's over for now. Okay. So the Elogist knows what is already lost. His power will almost certainly protect us. And again, we've got 12 winter now because we added Valsine, who's got the winter wound. But I don't think the number matters past 10. I've made something unique, something extraordinary, something I'll never dare exhibit publicly. All right, plenty of glimmering. I mean, it would be nice to be able to throw some of this into studies, but we're not really in a spot where I can afford to do that right now. Again, unless I have the fascination, it's going to use up a study slot, which I can use for other purposes. So plenty of exhausted passion for our painting. I'm curious if the staleness goes away. No, we've retained our staleness. And we have the Colonel and the Lionsmith. Since Issus, they have striven so. So I'm going to make this look really horrible. I'm going to move everything down one. I guess I'll have to put the Scaptodon Fang above that, or I can just put it to this. I'll put it to the side like we did with the Whispering Amulet. Okay, so work-wise, I suppose we can do... No, sorry, I'm going to do a summoning first. So take the Sunset Rite, probably my favorite rite because of its ability to consume influence. And then we will bring Winter and I've used up all my Forge followers, so Forge and Eclair. Forge for the Smoky Spirit summoning, Winter for its binding. It must know who will rule it. Alright. From our gossip and invisible lore, Spieth deduces that the Vagabond has visited nowhere, but that she will not return. He also asserts that she has yet to visit the Glory, but that inevitably this must be her goal. So another Vagabond's map. That's welcome. We should be able to handle our Lone and Level Sands expeditions. The hope, of course, is that we'll have some left over to be able to go even higher. But the goal was to try and get as many of these things to knock down as we could, because we're going to be switching headquarters. So again, the hope is to hit that peak level of notoriety and just sweep it away in one go. And because we're feeling fairly secure as far as my mental state is concerned, we will now read the final book that we have in our collection, The Dream of the Conspiracy of the Lower Skies. The disgraced oracle Daemon Azenaton sifts through the tall tales of Penelope of Gordian, the work of the court poet Cal, and the forbidden fragments of the work of the adept Aretres, identifying common themes. Let me try that again. The disgraced oracle Daemon Azenaton sifts through the tall tales of Penelope of Gordian, the work of the court poet Cal, and the forbidden fragments of the work of the adept Aretres, identifying common themes. Wasn't really any better, but you gotta practice. Damon insists that the hours, far more than mortals, are subject to their passions, to hatred and even to love. The seasons of famine and plenty, the turn of the earth, the transformations of the furnace, all these are only the results of the enactments of the lesser passions of the hours. All right, this is something I always like to see. Lots of different verbs being occupied and worked. Okay, so we've got a few Spintrea, so my follower is at work on the mirror. The curse shrivels. Our power is stronger than the power that was here. The curse won't touch us. Always good news. Should be a little more organized as far as reputation, you know, positives and negatives. The mirror is repaired. It shines again as it did once before. Okay, so we're not quite ready to go to the higher levels yet. Well, we might. I'll see about that. And we do not yet have a summoning. That's going to be 20 seconds from now. So let's leave the talk verb open for the time being. All right, so 475 seconds left. We're probably going to have to get rid of the package from Paul Samuelson. However, it may be one of these situations where I want to generate dread, and so leaving it on its own would be a good idea. Now, we may have to deal with some fascination. I've got 16.2 seconds to figure out what's going on there. So we'll hold off on a trip to the Mansus, and we can see exactly where we stand. Treasures lie before us. Yeah, so that delightful blood is definitely not going to be useful to us. Well, not in the conventional way. All right, not all of Forge's children are bright. Its offcuts and its bastards gather in the bounds like hammerscale in the cracks of a smithy floor. Here comes one now. All right, so we're going to send the Callagine. We might even pretend that this is the Callagine that was originally summoned coming back, and now that it knows where the documents are kept, it can do a better job. And we made the right call as far as keeping the dream slot available. In 40 seconds, we're going to have to deal with fascination. 49 seconds left on the fleeting reminiscence. So, Damon suggests that the hours have constrained their rivalry to avoid a war within the House of the Sun. He identifies the fear of the crime of the sky as the reason that the hours do not satisfy other passions. He speculates on the horrifying possibility of hours turned Alukite. I do not know that word. What then would they devour? All right. I don't like doing too many things on... Oh, wait, no, this is referred to elsewhere in the... This is referred elsewhere into the game, so... sorry, I thought this was a different word. This is a Cultist Simulator thing. Or, sorry, a Secret Histories thing. I believe that is the official name of the... the setting. All right, so we're going to get rid of the fascination for starters. Again, it's a little more dangerous to us now. And if you can get rid of... so there's two ways of thinking about it. If you know that there's going to be something that will provoke dread, or, you know, something that will generate contentment. But fascination, personally, it's gotten better, but fascination was the one that was more likely to end my runs when I was starting. If you know you're going to generate something, or if you know something's going to decay into dread, then you can let the Season of Visions take up a fascination, because you know it's also going to automatically take up the dread. And so as long as you are certain there will not be other fascination picked, that the slot is going to be able to pick up, as long as you can rely on that, then you save yourself the dream slot to cancel things out. If, on the other hand, we sort of see the train coming, we want to make sure that we have enough on the table to be able to deal with that. So we don't need to worry about the fascination here. We also don't have any more books that we're going to read, so we're in good shape. Unless, of course, we generate fascination from ransacking the observatory, which is entirely possible, actually, because I believe the projections of the stars were ones that that man was not meant to see. Okay, let's think about what we want to do with our work verb. Let's do a painting for starters. Doesn't exactly pay the bills, but it does get me Spintrea. And then I suppose if I wanted, I could try upgrading... Yeah, we could try upgrading a few of the Forbidden Epics, because I know we're not going to do anything else with that verb right now. There's a chance we may not be able to make the most of the erudition, but let's run with it. History is less certain than we are taught. I can learn from the study of its blurred edges. So we'll be able to do a couple more commissions before too long. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I was going to do a whole bunch of other paintings, but we'll... So we have a lantern, a grail, and a heart painting that we can do before all is said and done. Although I suppose it's not bad that I'm not doing the painting right now because we have a season of visions to worry about. Progress of the heavens. The great telescope has rusted and fallen from the dome. The lenses have cracked, but pale lights rotate slowly above the floor, like lamps held aloft by dancers. Perhaps they imitate the procession of heavenly bodies. Perhaps their motion mourns the passing of the sun. Okay, so we've got a free period after our season of visions. The chief of the astronomers who dwelt here must have been a practitioner of the invisible arts. In a cedarwood box in his quarters beneath the decaying bed, we find what we sought. All right, so more notoriety. That's kind of par for the course here. Good work, Valsine. Good work, Made in the Mirror. Oh! No, sorry. My apologies. The observatory did have books. It is the Tombs of the Shadowless Kings that I think I was one expedition ahead in terms of my planning. Okay, the Larkabine Codex, the Cracked Watchman's Glass. So this is a pretty good one in the sense that we're now going to have two mirrors, so we can start getting a rotation going into the into the Peacock Door. The drawback here, of course, is that we are short on bronze Spintrea. Now we do have a fairly decent stack of silver, but I don't know, like it's I don't like overpaying. All right, and a consecrated lintel. This is the skull of a door through which power has passed. Okay, I have a couple questions in terms of whether or not I want to... Got 100 seconds. Yeah, you know what, let's explore the tombs and sorrows in the lone and level sands. The river, wrote the sage Mech in the Book of the Centipede, runs through the sands out of myth and into legend. This is the place the centipede was born, they say. The sands of which Mech wrote hide perilous curiosities. So I'm ticking, the clock's ticking down on the summons, which will help me out on these expeditions, but I figure I'll try and get a couple of them. Work through. Okay, new manuscript. We should be safe enough to do a new painting, so let's do... So we'll be generating a fleeting reminiscence after the season of vision. So let's go bold and do a lantern painting. Those who will understand, those who know will understand, as will the Suppression Bureau. All right, so erudition first, just in time. This is a puzzle with missing pieces. I might find those pieces in odd corners of scholarship. And we've got our composure, so we are ready to go back through the Peacock Door. Yeah, no, well, let's roll the dice and go through the Peacock Door. My minion has returned, the evidence has been destroyed, and I am a little safer. So given that the evidence is gone, we might actually be I might be willing to sacrifice one of the Caligines in order to get another Lone and Level Sands location. I'll decide that at the time. For now, let's turn in with Madame Bichet, try and get those commissions on a proper rotation again. And then I do need to start thinking about money. It's all well and good to sort of plan out these expeditions, but I do need to finance them, and I haven't been painting at least painting things that can pay my bills. All right, so another glimmering that'll help me with my my upgrade work, Mystique, which I don't really need to worry too much about right now, although it does help to keep the Suppression Bureau off my tail. And let's talk with Jannings about a new commission, as well as Dr. Redeem when the time comes. All right, I could spend money on better paints, or perhaps I could find more exotic pigments. Fulgen it is. Jannings would like an edge commission. I'm just trying to think of a good spot. Let's we'll give it the 14 seconds for the new Lone and Level Sands location, and then we'll call it for today. So, Doctor would like help with his research. Alright, mirrors are calm, the sun is steady, the glory recedes. I'm sane if that means anything. No fascination drives your visions. It's over for now. And we do have a season of despair coming up, so I want to be a bit cautious of that because we currently don't have any contentment. And the good doctor would like a commission on the secret histories. So in 4 seconds we'll find out what our new location is. And I don't think I have any... Nope, we can have a chat with Tristan or Valsine about the cracked Watchman's Glass. Alright, Masana. So, as far as exploring locations are concerned, so we've got 116 seconds on the Maid in the Mirror, we've got 142 on the Callagine, so I am going to queue up another Vagabond's map. The river, wrote the Sage Mech, in the Book of the Centipede runs through the sands out of myth and into legend. This is the place the centipede was born, they say. The sands of which Mech wrote hide perilous curiosities. So eventually we want to upgrade these Vagabonds maps to the final level. It is unique, so you can't queue up a bunch of them, but there are some items in the most furthest destinations that will really help us in terms of future explorations through the Mansis. And once we hit that point, really, it's pretty much all downhill from there. It's really just a matter of getting some of the final components for the vitulation. We could actually get it started now. It's just, it doesn't, there's not too much of a benefit to starting it early, so I haven't really bothered. I actually also don't remember all the details of the vitulation, so that will be a bit fun. It gives us the recipe here, but right now we're lacking certain items. The Chalice Murmurous is in fact an artifact in the game. But that's it for today. I just wanted to take a quick second before doing the usual thank yous and goodbyes. So there was a comment which I thought I had dealt with, but it was one that actually went unaddressed for a while, unintentionally, because I thought I fixed it as soon as I saw the comment, and it appears that I didn't. But it looks like I got the playlist in the wrong order. So one of the episodes was a little bit earlier than the other one. And, basically it's sort of, I didn't observe I didn't notice the change rather, until somebody pointed it out. And then of course this told me there are a few just particulars in terms of how I record these things when I put them on YouTube. There's a couple of technical things about the resolution at which these are recorded, which make it difficult to immediately import previous settings. And again, it's all housekeeping. It's all fairly easy to maintain as long as I stay on top of it. But because there's sort of two videos that get recorded close to each other, I've noticed when I went back through some of them, I noticed little things like the consistency of the playlist. Like at the end of these videos, you'll sometimes see that the next one's ready to go. So if you didn't see Wednesday's episode and it's Friday, there should be a link that will take you directly to the next one. I noticed some of those were missing and such. So all of this is to say, I actually really do appreciate it when you point out little mistakes like that. I actually also noticed that there were 2 episode 39s. It was only episode 39 in the title, so the image was fine. The description still said episode 40. It just happened to be that I'd copied and pasted one of the titles and forgot to change the number. So I am quite aware of those things. And I mean, one day maybe I'll just show like the stats on the channel to sort of see how, show you sort of what the kind of estimated impact of little glitches like that are, because it's funny to see the stuff that matters. But for a small channel, I did just want to take a quick second here and say that this stuff is not, it's not bugging me to point that out. It actually helps me. Because it's a small channel, it is actually very likely that if there is a mistake, maybe not a mistake in the gameplay, right? Like obviously playing the game, just a constant through line to a perfect win is sometimes the most boring way of playing certain games. But in terms of little details like the videos and all of that, if you've pointed it out, chances are it's the first I am being made aware of it. The channel's definitely small enough that is more likely than not. So if you've given me that kind of feedback, thank you very much. If you notice something like that and you want to mention it, obviously, preferably it's not all capital letters starting with "Hey, you idiot," you didn't do X. But I wanted to take a minute just because I spent some time before recording this episode looking at those details. I thought it would be a really good time to just acknowledge all of you who have done that, and just to say how much I appreciate it, because obviously, specifically somebody pointing out that the order of the playlist was wrong sort of inspired me to go back and actually finally fix the problem. But number two, to maybe just double check that there were a few other things that were the way that they were supposed to be. And again, it's just, it's my job to do it right. But I am also one person, and clearly the time that I spend maintaining the existing playlist is time that I don't spend creating videos. And so it's something that to be able to have a second set of eyes really, really helps. But with all of that in mind, again, thank you very much for watching. If you've not done so already, please feel free to hit the subscription. There's also the little bell if you want I don't see the little bell anymore, but there is a way to opt into notifications if you want to know when these come live. It's usually 6:30 on Wednesdays and Fridays. As always, we've already spent the time talking about the comments, but the likes, the dislikes, I don't know if the dislikes really help the view, but obviously interacting with these videos is always appreciated. It is always helpful. And it is definitely something that helps the channel get noticed, and it's something that as a result, is something that I really appreciate. So sorry for the extended goodbye. I will see you all next week, and I hope you have a good weekend.